This is Alan Bush with the daily financial forecast for Tuesday, June 30th. Starting out with the stock index futures, first of all, yesterday's sharp declines, very much linked to the problems in Greece as far as the negotiations between Greece and its IMF creditors, which apparently have soured, to say the least. Today, stock index futures trading higher with some glimmer of hope that there could be some type of last-minute deal, which I'm inclined to think will not be the case. Longer term, though, we feel that once the Greek situation is either resolved or put on the back burner, that the main trend will resume, which is to the upside for stock index futures. Also, since the lows were made in March of 2009, we have seen a multitude of geopolitical events that have only temporarily put a dent in the bull market in stock indices, and I think this situation that we're seeing now in Greece will be exactly the same, and that is only temporarily getting in the way of the bull market. Longer term, the main trend still appears to be higher, and I think we will see some new historical highs later this year for the main indices. Now, moving over into the foreign currencies, the dollar index actually putting in a very, very weak performance yesterday, and we had the downturn in the Greek situation developing over the weekend, and there were some gains in the dollar in the weekend trade and in the early Monday trade, but all those gains were given back yesterday, which is rather unusual when there should have been a lot of flight to quality buying coming in, which there was to some degree, but it very much dissipated with the dollar closing lower yesterday. Some gains in the dollar today, however, those gains being given back. Probably the important thing to note is that the dollar is actually lower now than where it was Friday before this negative Greece news came out. And that's a very similar situation, almost a mirror image in the euro currency, which is now higher, although lower on the day today. It is higher than where it was trading before the Greek news came out on Friday. So we're seeing the dollar index very much underperforming the news, the euro currency overperforming the news. That tells us that the main trend for the dollar is lower and the main trend for the euro currency is higher. Now, moving over to the interest rate markets, on Friday we did see the 30-year bonds falling to new lows for the move, only to be rescued by the flight to quality influence on Monday, with sharp gains taking place on the Greek situation. Futures a little bit lower today. Longer term, we feel that once the Greek news is out of the way, the problem resolved, or in one way or the other, less in focus, I would expect lower prices for the long end, the 30-year bonds, and I would expect new lows for the move also for the 30-year Treasury bond futures. So good trading, everyone, and once again, remember, these are my opinions alone and are not the opinions of ADMIS or Archer Daniels Midland.